Hey guys, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps today. Ooh, I'm just so glad you're here. We got a spicy, fun one for you this evening. First of all, I would like to wish all the dads here a happy Father's Day. And I would like to wish somebody else a happy Father's Day. It's my husband, Jay. Do you know that you're dad?
Hi, Dad. Hey, this is Jay, also known as Dr. Bad Vibes. You can find me on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. I just streamed a little bit earlier today, and a few of you dropped by and said, "Hey," so I appreciate that. And that,
Going out tomorrow.
oh, okay. So you came by last night and said, "Hey, I appreciate that," and now I am here to talk with Jen about more Meg.
Yeah, how about that thumbnail? I had so much fun making that. That's one of the weird skills I've kind of had to teach myself through this YouTube journey is making thumbnails, and I always try to put little nods to you guys, little Easter eggs. Tell me you caught that Prince Harry is is on the dock there, about to get eaten by Meg. Anyway, guys, the response to our videos have been just unbelievable. It's been overwhelming. We've had the best time recording these. We're actually recording this very early in the morning. I guess late Saturday night, very early Sunday night. So we're punchy, we're tired. We're excited to record this, so no telling what you're going to get. It'll be up Sunday night. But again, you guys, the response has been so wonderful to all of our videos lately, and we just want to say thank you for that. What we thought we would do, we found a really funny article we're going to read through all about Meg. And it's pretty awesome. We're going to read through it, and then you guys posted the funniest comments on the video that went up, well, it'll be yesterday. That video really took off. It's probably my fastest growing video ever. I can't even believe it. And you guys have the best comments. So we're going to read some of the comments after we go over this article, and we're going to have some laughs. So stick with us. Again, thank you for everybody who's taken the time to write us, all the well-wishers as we cross closer and closer to 100,000. I can't thank you enough. To celebrate, I've got really smug pictures of Meg in the background. So get ready for that because I get hung up sometimes on some of the details and I just kind of forget, God, she's a smug asshole, isn't she? Harry's a dopey asshole, but she's smug. So I thought, let's look at some smug pictures while we talk about how horrible she's been.
Yeah, to be fair, I really haven't seen many photos of her outside of ones that, Jen has been like, look at this. And I'm like, oh, wow, weird. Yeah, I don't Google her. Never. But she makes the weirdest expressions. I mean, everything she does is weird and just a little off.
Uh-huh.
Like very...
Look at me?
Yeah, attention-seeking and... I'm trying to think how to explain it. I don't know. I mean, I guess smug. Like, she's like, yeah, look at me. Exactly what you just said. I mean, it's just like, I don't know how else to put it.
But you have to say it the right way. Look at me.
Look at me.
You sound like Charlie.
Yeah, I mean, she looks like she just figured everything out, and us plebes can't
Yes.
can't understand it. I don't know. It's just the same look in all these pictures. But we figured out that people don't want to listen to her.
Yeah. All right, let's look at this article. Meghan McCain writes, the fucking grifters. 3 shattering words that must make the Duke and Duchess of Delusion realize their land of make-believe is crashing down before their very eyes. Ah, well said.
It feels like a watershed moment, doesn't it? The effing grifters. 3 bombshell words that must surely have brought the land of make-believe crashing down before their very eyes. Because for the Duke and Duchess of Delusion, this can only go one way now. And here's a clue. It's not towards global domination. Yes, American sports supremo Bill Simmons has been openly critical of Harry and Meghan before, but this time he's also speaking in his commercial role as Spotify's head of podcast innovation and monetization. Ooh, monetization. Yeah. The effing grifters. That's the podcast we should have launched with them. Simmons said in an episode of his own podcast on Friday, following the news that Spotify had exited their $20 million deal with Harry and Meghan. So, I mean, not to keep beating a dead horse, but this dead horse is hilarious and makes funny faces. as soon as this came out, well, actually before this came out, because I had to listen to that thing and get my ears fucked by the horrid, boring, narcissistic pile of garbage, hour long. Well, I don't think we've made it a whole hour, but it's a bad show.
Yeah.
We found that out immediately, probably like a lot of people did, because I'm sure the curiosity brought a lot of listeners in for that first episode. They didn't come back because it steadily dropped. They can get as many fake awards as they want or purchase, but that doesn't change the fact that nobody wants to listen to them. And the key phrase I took out of it was lack of productivity, meaning they're not doing their job. They probably agreed to do way more than 12, less than 1 hour episodes. And I'd love to know how much of that deal actually, I doubt they got paid the whole 20 million is the way that made the whole thing sounded. They're definitely not getting any more. But I mean, it's crazy. Like, that's their 1 hour work week. It's just to talk about herself. Like, bring a celebrity in to trick them thinking, hey, we're going to have a conversation. It's like, nah, it's all about me. Let's talk about me.
Jay, I'm going to put you on the spot for a second while we read this article and say you probably had about 50 or so comments of how sexy your voice is. And then somebody asking for you to do an Irish accent. So how about saying, you want to say effing grifters, maybe? Do it in your sexy voice and then your Irish accent.
Those effing grifters. Oh, that's my sexy voice. All right. Real voice. Those effing grifters.
There you go.
And then the Irish one. Top of the morning to you, laddies. Sorry.
We have lovely Irish listeners and people from Northern Ireland that I've gotten to know in the comments. So, of course, we love you guys. That is not a hate crime.
Yeah, I mean, that's totally a Lucky Charms accent. Yeah. But actually, my favorite thing from Ireland is Guinness. I love Guinness.
Yes.
And
let's go to Ireland.
Yeah, let's go to Guinness. Yeah. We got some in the UK. That was cool. Not quite Ireland, so yeah. we need to do it right.
Yes. Oh, and then we had somebody from Scotland saying, "Come to Scotland." I would love to. I want to go to Balmoral.
It's not Scottish. It's crap.
And our kid is obsessed with Scotland. Keeps asking to go, and she calls bagpipes. Tell him what she calls bagpipes.
She wants to hear the blowpipes.
Yes. So the article continues on and says, I've got to get drunk one night and tell the story of the Zoom I had with Harry to try to help him with a podcast idea. It's one of my best stories, he added. But we already know how that story goes, for this is a couple who, though they have fled their gilded palaces, still live in a fairy tale fantasy of their own making. A couple who arrogantly bamboozled the CEO of Disney while on a red carpet to demand voiceover work back in 2019. Side note, I did a video on this. Definitely go watch it. It's under my So Much Cringe collection. I actually have a playlist of So Much Cringe. You'll find it on there. Check it out.
A couple who, despite plunging popularity ratings, have spun, sold, and rerun their tired tale of pity so many times because they still somehow believe that their interminable grievance tour is the best ticket in town. Yeah, we're so sick of it. But now the market has spoken. Oh, there we go. We're the market. Meghan's Archetype series has been savagely scrapped after just one pitiful season, amid reports that Spotify bosses were frustrated over the snail slow pace of production coming out of Montecito. Just 13 episodes since the deal was signed in December 2020. It may end up costing the couple a cool $10 million. So they still got $10 million out of that.
I don't know.
Yeah, they keep saying 13 episodes. I mean, I'm not going to argue with.
Somebody corrected it. They said it's 12 and then maybe a Christmas episode was recorded.
Okay. Yeah, I figured everybody keeps saying 13. We only saw 12, but
we
okay.
Couldn't listen.
Yeah.
Why?
My ears were so raw from being fucked. It's so bad. No, it's really so bad. Yeah. I mean, it's like, it's one of those.
Don't let friends listen.
No, it's one of those things. I don't want to find a way to pirate it. Don't give them money. It's one of those things. Sign up for Patreon and listen to our review and clips. Wink, wink. But it's so bad that I think you got to hear it because it's just so bad. I can't believe somebody made this and nobody around them was just like, yeah, it's kind of bad. It's just it's so bad.
I feel like I owe you a huge apology, Jay, because I feel like you now have PTSD after listening to that damn thing. But and then you lovely people pointed out in the comments, thank you so much, that it had an insane number of producers. I tried to find the exact number. I couldn't find it. You guys were commenting it was something like at 13. I don't know. I'm picking a number, something like that. It's ridiculous. But so many of you had said that you felt like it was the interviews were done by somebody else and that she just sat and recorded stories about herself. I mean, I'm just thinking about this. Can you imagine you're getting paid a shitload of money to sit and talk about yourself, and you can't even be bothered to research your guests or actually speak with your guests? I believe you guys had pointed out the only exception. There were a couple exceptions. You thought it was Mariah Carey and Serena Williams, I believe, and maybe one other. But the rest were done by a producer where the guests have actually thanked the producers. You know what? Side note, I actually, believe it or not, am followed by Candace Bushnell. I know, it's unbelievable. And I just found out, I believe she was on the show. If I DM her, would she answer me? Because I would love to DM her. I'm not trying to be that girl, but I love her. I'm a huge fan. And I just got to thinking about this. I think she was on the show. She'll never answer my DM, but I might try because I am so curious and fascinated by this. How did it go? Who interviewed her? That kind of thing.
Yeah, that jogged my memory. That was something else I blocked from my brain. I remember when we were listening, and I think even the Serena Williams one where it was mostly her, it felt like that it was stitched together, like they weren't in the same room or something. Like, and I may be thinking of another episode, but I remember that being a thing. Like, they were talking, but it sounded like it was very disjointed. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Like they would talk and she would just react almost like they were in separate places at separate times.
Let's do a demonstration now. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like it was just weird. Like it didn't feel like. I mean, of course, she talks so robotic. Maybe that's all it was. But for sure, I remember we were skipping around, and I remember somebody else asking questions, and I was like, even then, I was like, this is their show. Can they not ask the questions?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is that what it was? They had like interns or producers.
Producers, I think.
Yeah, it was like the show's about them, and they can't even bother to do the work.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess that's why it got canceled, though.
Yes. So while he was talking, I was Googling, and sure enough, Candace Bushnell was on the podcast. And listen, I am nobody. The only reason she follows me is because I did these reviews of And Just Like That, and I talked about how horrible it was. And I think she thought it was horrible too. And I talked about how much I love the original series, Sex and the City, and so that's why she followed me. We've never communicated or anything. I just freaked out. I was like, oh my God. And I think I like put it in one of my videos. So if you followed me for a long time, you probably already know this. But if you're new here, you're like, what? That's the only reason. But I would love to know who interviewed her. I'm going to just see. I'm nobody, but I'll try to DM her and just be like, hey, weird question. What up, best friend, BFF? But that does bring me to another point that has nothing to do with this. And Just Like That, season 2 starts back this week. It starts back Thursday. And the only reason I mention it is because some of you guys already know I cover that. Some of you are going to be very confused. I'm still going to mostly do Harry and Meghan stuff. Don't worry, nothing's changing. But starting Thursday, you will see And Just Like That content as well. It's just because my channel kind of blew up because I told the truth about And Just Like That season 1 and how bad it sucked. So I have to go back and cover And Just Like That too. It's kind of got a cult following. So I just have to talk about it. So you'll see that coming up too. If you're not into it, no worries. Just ignore it. It's fine. If you are into it, my God, I'm so glad you're here.
So yes, there seems to be a recurring theme on the channel. Jen recaps something that ends up being a train wreck, or comments on how it's a train wreck, and then peripherally I get involved, and then I learned way too much about it because I did see some of the And Just Like That stuff, and it is, I mean. Yeah, I mean, I never watched Sex and the City. I was aware of it. I mean, my knowledge was mainly about the laptop she used. I can tell you a lot about the laptop. I'm sure you want to hear. But when that show came on, I mean, even without any knowledge of the old show, it's so insane. It's like it's like it was written by AI. Like what would be funny for old people?
Yeah.
But, they're 50, but we're going to cast them like or write them like they're 80. It's a train wreck. And then that went off the air, and then Amber Heard did her stuff, and then that was the whole thing, and then I ended up live streaming. It's like, can't something good happen? Like, something.
No, I'm good at train wrecks.
That's cool, and I'm glad you are. But can't something amazing take off that everybody just wants to watch because of how good it is, not how awful these people are? So now here we are again, full circle, Harry and Meghan. I knew nothing about them, and now I know way too much. And how smug she is, and I'm looking up. I mean, even this wedding dress photo. What is the wedding day photo? What is that? They might as well have the George W. Bush mission accomplished photo hanging behind her. She's like, I got him. He's mine now. Money. And then she learns that that's probably not exactly the whole story. And here we are.
Yes. Oh my God. Right when he said that, I looked up too at the screen because we look at the mic and each other when we're recording. I forget to look at the screen sometimes. So I looked up and saw this photo, and I'm thinking, my first thought was, I would be so pissed at you if our wedding photos you look smug. Like what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm looking over my shoulder like, got her. She doesn't know the nerd shit I'm into.
Spoiler alert, I knew and I married you anyway. Aww.
Oh
God.
Well.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew what I was marrying. I knew we were both poor when we got married. Like, I didn't think I was duping a rich prince. Like, God, seriously, this photo is, it says everything I need to know.
It's also no secret that Archetype's listing figures quickly plummeted after initial success. Even I knew that. That's scary. And we all know why. It simply committed the worst possible sin in Hollywood. It was drop dead dull. No shit.
Yes.
That is.
Tell us what your thoughts were.
Yeah. I feel like I've given my thoughts on this so much over the past couple of days. I forgot all about this bullshit podcast, and then it comes rushing back, and I'm just washed with PTSD listening to that. It's so bad.
I don't mean to cross any lines, but I have to do dirty stuff to make up for him listening to it.
Yes. Where was it? Oh, yeah. Of course, the official line is that they've, quote, mutually agreed to part ways, and that they're, quote, proud of the series we made together. And even when that first came out, that first video we did, I made the joke, oh, this is like, the boyfriend and girlfriend. Like, yeah, it was a mutual decision. Yeah, okay. But, I mean, the numbers don't lie. I mean, I think that those came out pretty early. People listened. Curiosity, I'm sure. And then they were just like, oh, God. And then, and then quit listening. I mean, if it's not entertaining, it's not going to attract anybody, and nobody's going to continue to listen. I mean, even throughout I'd like to see, when you look at YouTube analytics, you can see when people drop off of videos. I would like to see how that went on that podcast. If people made it past like 15 minutes, well, they're made of sterner stuff than I am.
However, if Simmons' brutal takedown proves anything, it's that recollections of the short-lived partnership will no doubt vary over at Spotify HQ. But wait a second. Isn't this what Harry and Meghan wanted? To live and work in the real world? A world unconcerned with crowns and silly ceremonies, where men and women have to actually strive for success, and where the brutal bottom line decides what's hot and suddenly what's not? Surely the barefoot prince and his girl next door wife couldn't have so utterly underestimated how difficult life outside the British royal family would be, that they'd actually have to work for their money.
Didn't they think that shaking hands and doing photo ops for charity was too much work? So they want to do real work, but only 1 hour a week, because any more than that would be ridiculous. But yes, work like the common man. Go to work 9 to 5.
Worry about childcare.
Yeah, worry about childcare. Worry about insurance. Is your car going to make it? Do you have enough for gas money on the way back? All those things. Because that's so much easier than shaking hands and doing charity events. and not even really trying. I mean, it's just mind-boggling. I don't even know what to say. It's just like, I understand he's never been in the real world. Surely she has at some point. What makes her so entitled to feel like she doesn't deserve to be in the real world? It's like, what happened there?
You have a sexy voice and a very good point. No, you're exactly right. Didn't she brag about putting herself through college? I know, we all know it's bullshit. We've heard, but I'm just saying, like, she bragged about that, and then she bragged about having a job at an ice cream shop or something, which, again, her dad proved was not the case. But you get where I'm going with this. They say these things, and then, of course, do the complete opposite. See the pictures where she's carrying the $5,000 handbag to take a walk for the paparazzi and showing off all her jewels.
Back to the article. Well, if those pictures of Meghan, published exclusively on dailymail.com, looking glum, I love that word, in overcast Santa Barbara and clutching a $5,400 handbag close to her chest, yeah, or anything to go by, perhaps this has all come as something of a shock. Perhaps she thought that Spotify would be tripping over itself to cut her another fat check, to retread the same old victim/activist cliches in a carbon copy second series of archetypes. I mean, really, it's the same. I'm only peripherally involved, and I've heard the story about that damn soap so much, and it's just all buzzwords and just marketing. Anyway, word salad, yum yum, eat up. That legions of Sussex superfans would be all too happy to tune in for more mindless chatter with Paris Hilton about the word bimbo and padding in your bra, or cod intellectual babbling about the duality of diva with Mariah Carey. We must have missed something on that one.
Yeah, cod.
Cod intellectual. It's a smart fish. Or perhaps she didn't know how much of a hard gig it would be. I mean, honestly, it's more than just sitting down in front of a microphone. I mean, even like what we're doing right now, you got to prepare a little bit. Mostly Jen. I just sit down. I'm doing the easy part, but I'm putting in more than 1 hour a week. I'm here. Look at me. Give me 10 million or 20 million. But I mean, yeah, it's just like people that don't know how the real world works, and they just want a handout. The end.
Many of the best podcasters produce 5 episodes a week. Certainly, as someone who built a career hosting daily news and chat shows on both TV and radio, I know all too well that the commitment, the exhausting hours, the sacrifice away from family it takes to make these programs a success. Listen, I'm not trying to toot my own horn here or go off on any kind of tangent, because I will. I challenge you to find a YouTuber who puts out more videos than me. The only one I've ever seen is HG Tutor. That guy puts out some videos. But I put out 3 a day on most days. So that ends up being roughly about 21 videos a week that take so much time and effort. And listen, I love doing it. Obviously, I'm here. I love you guys. We've built up this relationship. It's great. I'm honestly not complaining about it. I love it. But I'm saying, like, yeah, when I hear these grifters complain about the 1 hour a week they work for $10 million, I just want to tell them, if you have kids, you might want to get them out of the room for this. You ready? Eat a bag of dicks. Seriously, eat a big bag of dicks and shut up. Whatever the case, Spotify has clearly decided time is up for H&M. Anybody else not want to shop at H&M anymore because of these 2 assholes? Me neither. Now, for someone like Harry, at least, born into a world so unimaginably detached from normality, it's easy to see why he may have underestimated the challenge of what lay ahead. Indeed, it was telling earlier this month when the petulant prince, I love that, appeared in UK courtroom and admitted that he was not aware of any evidence to support his claims that he had been hacked by a British tabloid, but that he would nonetheless feel a sense of injustice if he did not win his case. You guys, that is so well said, and you can hear the laughter in my voice, because that will just never not be crazy to me. How in the world could how could anybody act like that? I have no idea. Bring a case forth and say, it's because I feel it. Oh, what am I doing? Harry, why'd you bring that case forward?
It's the unconscious bias. I could feel it in my plums. I knew it was going on and I was being hacked.
The defense accused him of being in the land of total speculation. No matter what Harry says of his newfound freedom, it's clear he was never properly prepared for the rigors of the adult world. I mean, really, that's exactly what I was saying a little while ago. I mean, I'm not giving him a pass, but I understand. He was sheltered and lived in, a Fabergé egg. Meghan, I don't understand. But as for plain old Meghan, whatever happened to the hardworking actress who was raised on $4.99 salads? Okay. Salad bars. Super Bar, Wendy's, bring it back. Who took quote all the odds and ends jobs to help pay the bills? Who wrote letters to Hillary Clinton campaigning for social justice, aged 11? Perhaps she became more royal than she'd like to admit.
Okay, I had to stop it right here. Can we just spend like 4 hours talking about that? She just got called plain old Meghan. Oh my God, that is brilliant. Plain old Meghan. Should we just start calling her that from now on? Because again, I can hear plates smashing in Montecito from here. Plain old Meghan. But here's the hard truth. After countless tell-all interviews, talk show appearances, misery memoirs, love that, Netflix wine-a-thons, and yes, pointless podcasts, public interest in brand Sussex is drying up. There were early signs that this would happen. Last May, Netflix, with whom the couple still have a reported $100 million deal for content, scrapped Meghan's animated series Pearl. A series exploring Harry's work with the Invictus Games was also delayed by Netflix in 2020 to make way for the pair's controversial 6-part docuseries, which aired last December. Okay, if Jay gets to go on and on about how the podcast ear-fucked him, I'm going to go on and on about how that Netflix series brain-fucked me because I was so mad watching that thing. You can go back and hear me recap that thing if you really want to. I couldn't even do it episode by episode. It's too much. So I think I did 2 recaps, the first 3 episodes and then the last 3 episodes. And I had like basically lost the will to live by the end of it. It was horrible. I will never get that time back. I was so angry by the end of it. Jay knew I was working hard on it. He kept like checking on me. He'd walk in the room, say, "How's it going?" And I'd just be like, just angry grunt at him. Yeah. And then he'd scurry out of the room and I'd cry. But it was awful. But that Invictus Games thing was scheduled for release this summer, but will it ever see the light of day? We'll see. It's already summer. Where is that thing? One wonders, too, about the remaining tomes in Harry's promised 4-book deal with Penguin, reportedly worth $25 million. I want to know why the F everybody is paying these dumbasses to make shit up. We can make shit up for a lot cheaper than that.
Oh, hell yeah. I'll make stuff up. Pay me money. There's one time I saw this magical goblin break into the house, and if you tickle his tummy, he grants a wish. Give me some money. I just made shit up. So Meghan can have her whole smug series of photos, but for Prince Harry, this is now the only photo or rendition that we will accept. It's such a weird thing about court, how you can't take a picture and they just have an artist there. I mean, cool for them, they get to draw stuff, but weird rule when you really think about it. But anyways, back to the photo. They really captured the derpiness of him and the thinning hair. They really put a lot of effort into that. They're just like, hey, screw you. And then they knew that was going to be all over the news. Very good still life on the desk in front of him. Yeah. It's good artist. If you're listening or if you know who they are, thumbs up. Good job.
The article wraps up with, after the publication of his Todger-stuffed memoir, Spare, in January, the couple's popularity hit new lows. Could they survive the damage of a further 3 books? Could we? Last month, following the breathless statement from Harry and Meghan's spokesperson alleging they'd been victims of a 2-hour near-catastrophic car chase in Manhattan, even Queen of Woke Whoopi Goldberg cast doubts on their story. Out here in the real world, that they are so desired, they've lost their families, their royal privileges, and even the liberal elite. And now big business has called their bluff. Who will be the next to step off the grievance tour bus? Damn, that was a good article. I really enjoyed that one. I thought she made excellent points throughout. I thought you guys would get a kick out of that too. Very well said. Well, moving on from that, let's jump into the comments from yesterday's video because you guys left some really funny ones and some interesting points. So believe me, there's a million that I wanted to choose from. I just picked a couple, thought we could talk about them and have some laughs. Side note, YouTube is annoying. And what I mean is they made a change today. That's annoying. I have gotten to know so many of you, and I try to keep track who's who, especially if we start talking to each other quite a bit. I recognize you from your thumbnails, and I kind of put your thumbnail and username together and kind of get a sense of who's who. Well, today they went and they switched it up and changed it to your @ name. And sometimes your @ name is different than what your username was. I only say that to say if I act like I don't know who you are, or you may have to remind me because it's annoying. They went and switched it up on me. Just when I start learning people, I'm back at square one. So again, bear with me on this, especially on the phone. I can't always see your picture to remind me who you are. So if I see your @ and I talk to you like we haven't talked before, that's the only reason. It's not personal. It's annoying. But I really do appreciate you all, and I try to get to know you because you're fascinating. All right, let's get into some of these comments.
All right, getting into the comments. We got the first one here from Diane Sasson. I live in Montecito, and I know exactly where these pics were taken. There is no shopping here. It's a group of businesses. No shopping. It's a dentist, a gym, a chiropractor, hair salon, etc. She is the ultimate phone baloney. Phony baloney.
I like phone baloney.
I mean, it is phone baloney. I don't think she's really on a call. So that's, if that's what you were trying to say, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree either way. Love your show. Well, thank you. Not my show, but Jen's.
I really love phone baloney. But yeah, okay, so here she is. I had said maybe she seems to be taking a walk or something, and the paparazzi happens to know where she is. Somebody smarter than me said in the comments what probably happened is that her agent or whoever that WME group is, the managers, said, I can't tell you where the paparazzi's going to be, but you be at this place at this time. He'll be there somewhere getting photos so it looks more candid. You look serious in the photos. That sort of thing. So that was just such a good theory. I thought, yeah, that probably is what happened. But I just don't understand why you want to look like this in your photo. And then we have @Angel from Gen X writes, she's so obvious, pretending she's not obviously pretending she's not pretending. You are a genius. That is so well said and so well put and hilarious because, yeah, that's exactly what she's doing. Oh, you mean to tell me that this picture is staged? What? What are you saying? What are you talking about? This is just how we stand, right? When we're, I don't know, walking around the dentist's office or the hair salon or whatever. This is how you stand when you know you're being photographed, right? Or when you don't know you're being photographed, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, right? Oh my God. And then you guys pointed out, as I talked about, she loves to show off the jewelry. She has to show off, the Cartier watch and stuff. And here you go. Here it is. Look, let me make sure that my sleeves are pulled up so you can see the watch. Jeez.
All right, the next one from Nancy Black. Jay, the pap smear comment made me laugh so loud that 5 cats scattered. You are the man. So, not to be crass, but the irony isn't lost on me that a joke about pap smear spread some pussies.
Oh.
Sorry.
Oh my God. Holy shit. I could not have predicted that's where you were going with that. In case people are watching this one and didn't see the last one or don't remember the pap smear joke, can you remind everybody what you were talking about?
So, yeah, that was in reference to the quote-unquote catastrophic car chase where I was glad that a pap wasn't involved in the car's path where he could have been smeared. Hence the pap smear. Pun, pun, pun. Ha ha.
Okay, so I got a lot of comments on this one, including @NotEverEveryTime5074, who writes, whoever installs Madame's wigs needs to apply bronzer to the part as well as the lace front. Lord knows she's far paler than anyone knows under all that bronzer, but she's using wigs with lace fronts, with lace made for Nordic women. You're supposed to apply your normal foundation color to a wig's parting if you aren't extremely pale. I had so many funny comments about this, and you make such a good point. Thank you for that. It's just, so many people said, what is up with her part? And that comes up a lot. Like, why does nobody know how to fix that that's on her team? I'm guessing she just won't listen to him, or maybe she doesn't have a team anymore and she just thinks I look good. And that's that.
All right. Another comment from user words and letters and numbers. My cat sits next to the computer at night while I work, and while watching your latest video, he sat up and made loud meows. Looking at Meghan on the screen, he knows. Cats can sense evil.
Yep. Too bad Harry can't.
Yeah. Too bad Harry doesn't have cat instincts.
All right. So I know you're Annette. See, this is what I'm talking about with YouTube. They changed everybody's name. So you used to be Annette. Now you're at ACA. You get the idea. You know what I mean? This is annoying. Not you guys. I'm saying YouTube's annoying because now I'm trying to relearn and remember your names. But anyway. The question that Annette asks is a question a lot of you had, which is, where are the kids? She's saying what a lot of us are saying, which is, I'm beginning to think they don't exist. It's all about her. She can't even share the spotlight with her own little, quote, prince and princess. Exactly. I think you are so spot on. And others have said, I've said this too, I understand and respect people for wanting to keep their kids out of the spotlight, but I don't respect anything Meghan and Harry have ever done ever, so I can't imagine it's that. How do you live a normal life and go like grocery shopping and not have like one paparazzi pic of the kid, even if they blur out the face? I respect that too. Why are there never any kids with them?
All right, next comment, Tammy Duro. Sorry, I probably butchered that. Thinking emoji. She's in black long sleeves and a sweater and black pants in Southern California in balmy mid-June. I don't think these are fresh pics. I hadn't thought about that. They probably, she's definitely thinner. I think they are current, but yeah, all that aside, she never dresses right. We've noticed that a few times. Like she was in New York when it was hot, wearing like a wool coat, and she's in California wearing long sleeves. Which can you ever wear long sleeves in California? Not any of the times I've been there. And what she had on like short sleeves.
I can help with that. Remember that crazy ass pregnancy dress she was wearing where she was hunched over and it was the black and white, like squared off neck dress? I'll try to find a picture and drop it in. That was in January, I believe, in the UK. She never dresses right. It never makes sense.
Maybe she's a lizard person, like she's cold-blooded, or that wouldn't explain the cold. I don't know. She probably just wants attention. I'll go with that.
There you go. All right. And then Lori Corey 120 posts, no makeup, please. I had so many comments about this one. And I meant to comment on it too. I meant to talk about it in yesterday's article. But I got distracted with the pap smear of it all, so I didn't. But the article claimed that Meghan was makeup free. And so many of you guys pointed out that's not true. In fact, at SD says, I know, right? 20 minutes, 30 seconds, they're talking about in the video. The blush is so heavy, I can visibly see where it stops and the orange bronzer begins. I'm over here going, blend, lady, blend. Such a good comment. Exactly. She's pretending not to. It's like the towel picture, right? Where she pretended not to have makeup, but her freckles were miraculously covered. It's kind of the same thing. Going for that no makeup look, except for went way too heavy on the bronzer, as per usual. I have videos on that. Check that out. But turning into an Oompa Loompa in front of our eyes. So very, very orange. You can see it, I think, pretty clearly in this picture as well. So I do find it funny that a lot of you guys pointed out, oh, geez, she's pretending not to have makeup on when she's clearly... One of you said something so funny. I wish I had it. I couldn't find it again. It was like dipped in bronzer and painted on, basically. It was so good. But anyway, guys, that's hilarious. I love your comments so much. Please keep them coming. I just find myself laughing so hard. You say that we make you laugh in our videos. You should know that you make me laugh so hard with the comments. You guys always bring up such insightful points. Things that I wish I had said, things that I forgot to say, things like that. And then just the funniest points. And so I'm always reading them off to Jay and telling him, oh my God, listen to what this person said. And, oh, somebody else thinks you have a sexy voice, that kind of stuff. So we get such a kick out of it. So please keep the comments coming. Let us know your thoughts on this video as well. I thought that article was so well done. Let me know your thoughts on that, your thoughts in general. Now, side note, I'm hearing a lot of you saying there's news of Harry and something going on with him and allegedly an ambulance and stuff. I looked and couldn't find it. But if you can find a source or something, please let me know in the comments because I'll talk about it. I couldn't find any actual stories about it, so let me know. But and also let me know just your thoughts and comments in general. We appreciate you guys so much. And let me see, I'm stalling for a second because I'm pulling up at the time of this recording. We are at 91,218 subs, so close to that 100,000. I can't thank each and every one of you enough for helping me get to that 100,000. A lot of you have been with me since the very early days. I thank you for that. Some of you have just joined on, and I thank you for that. But enough about me. Jay, tell everybody what you're up to and where to find you.
Well, you can find me on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick now as Dr. Bad Vibes, all one word, all spelled out. And I actually just did a live stream over the weekend. If you want to check out the replay for any reason, check me out on YouTube. It's on my main page, not too far from the top. I'm going to try to do that more regularly. I'm on camera I'm playing video games, so I don't know how much that appeals to everybody.
You can see his sexy face with his sexy voice.
I like to play Street Fighter. But yeah, I'm just playing games. I had fun doing this for the first time in a while. I had a lot of technical difficulties. I'm going to edit those out of the replay.
Well, let it play and do your, while you're doing your housework.
Yeah. But I did notice while I was streaming, I was getting a lot of subscribers from people that were not in the stream. So I assume that's people that were watching Jen's video. So I thank you a lot for that. I know it may not be your cup of tea, but hey, it makes those numbers go up for me and that helps. I appreciate it.
You guys, we appreciate you all so much. Definitely check out our Patreon. It's patreon.com/Real Housewives Recaps, where we do a lot of bonus content over there. We've talked a lot about these two schmucks. We talk about Nadia Baldwin and just, whatever's going on. We've been talking about like pop culture stuff, but mostly these two, going back over old interviews and having a laugh at their expense. I also recap Sex and the City episodes over there. So if that's your cup of tea, check that out. Again, you'll notice starting Thursday, I'm going to start I'll still have mostly Harry and Meghan stuff, but I will have, and just like that, 2 recaps going up. We'll see how it goes. I'm hoping that it takes off again like it did last time. YouTube doesn't do great when you're doing different kinds of content, so we're just going to play it by ear, see how it goes. If I have to move it over to a different channel, I will. Well, don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. I just don't want you to be like, what is all this other content going on? My focus is still Harry and Meghan as per usual. But anyway, guys, thank you for sticking with us. We appreciate you. If you've listened all the way to the end, you are my hero. I truly appreciate it. And we hope you have the best day. And happy Father's Day to all you dads out there. We appreciate you, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.